Welcome to Wild Wonder, a space where we uncover the profound wisdom hidden in the ordinary moments of life. Today, we embark on a transformative exploration of a perspective that has the power to reshape how we view aging, the idea that life truly begins at 40. This concept, inspired by the groundbreaking work of psychologist Carl Jung, invites us to challenge the conventional narrative of midlife as a crisis. Instead, we'll reframe it as a profound opportunity for self-discovery, growth, and reinvention. By the end of this journey, you may find yourself viewing midlife not as a time of decline, but as a gateway to a deeper, more authentic existence. From the moment we are young, society conditions us to fear aging. We are bombarded with messages that equate youth with beauty, vitality, and worth, while midlife and beyond are often portrayed as periods of loss, stagnation, and irrelevance. Advertisements promise to reverse the signs of aging, as if growing older is something to be ashamed of or avoided at all costs. But what if we chose to see aging through a different lens? What if, instead of dreading midlife, we embraced it as a time of awakening, a moment to pause, reflect, and redefine what truly matters? Midlife is not the end of the road. It is the beginning of a new chapter. It is a time when the noise of external expectations begins to quiet, and we are given the space to listen to our inner voice. Rather than mourning the passing of youth, we can celebrate the wisdom, clarity, and freedom that come with experience. This shift in perspective allows us to see midlife not as a crisis, but as a powerful opportunity to align our lives with our deepest values and aspirations. If we think of life as a play, the first 40 years can be seen as the dress rehearsal. These early decades are a time of learning, experimenting, and absorbing the influences of the world around us. We chase achievements, seek validation, and follow the paths laid out by society, family, and culture. We build careers, form relationships, and strive to meet external expectations. Yet at some point, a subtle but profound shift occurs. The questions that once drove us, what should I do? What do others expect of me? Begin to lose their urgency. In their place, a new question emerges. Who am I really? This is the turning point where the journey of individuation begins. Carl Jung believed that the first half of life is primarily concerned with building the ego and adapting to the external world. But as we approach midlife, the focus begins to shift inward. We start to question the roles we've been playing and the masks we've been wearing. We yearn for something more meaningful, something that resonates with our true selves. This is not a crisis. It is an invitation to step into a more authentic version of ourselves. Individuation, a central concept in Jungian psychology, is the process of becoming our most authentic selves. It is a journey of self-discovery that involves integrating all aspects of our personality, both the light and the shadow. In the first half of life, we often wear masks to fit societal roles and expectations. We may be the dutiful employee, the caring parent, the responsible citizen. But in midlife, these masks begin to feel constricting. We start to ask ourselves, who am I beneath these roles? What do I truly desire? This is where the magic of midlife begins. As we shed the expectations of others and turn our attention inward, we start to uncover our unique rhythm. We begin to prioritize what feels meaningful over what looks successful. We let go of the need to prove ourselves and instead focus on expressing our true nature. This process can be both liberating and challenging, as it requires us to confront aspects of ourselves that we may have ignored or suppressed. But it is through this journey that we achieve a deeper sense of wholeness and fulfillment. One of the most transformative aspects of the individuation process is the integration of the shadow. The shadow, as Jung described it, is the hidden part of ourselves that we have disowned or repressed. It may include buried passions, unresolved emotions, or traits that we have been taught to reject. Confronting the shadow can be unsettling, as it often involves facing parts of ourselves that we would rather avoid. Yet, it is through this integration that we achieve true wholeness. In midlife, we are often confronted with the shadow in unexpected ways. We may find ourselves drawn to activities or interests that we once dismissed as frivolous or impractical. We may experience intense emotions that we had long suppressed. These moments, though uncomfortable, are opportunities for growth. By embracing the shadow, we reclaim lost parts of ourselves and move closer to living authentically. Emotional maturity and intentional living. One of the gifts of midlife is the deepening of emotional maturity. As we grow older, we begin to let go of the need for external validation. We become less concerned with what others think of us and more focused on living in alignment with our values. Relationships take on a new depth as we prioritize connection and authenticity over superficiality. We become more selective with our energy, choosing to invest in what truly matters. This is a time for intentional living. We start to create rather than compete, to nurture rather than chase. We recognize that life is finite, and this awareness inspires us to make the most of the time we have. We let go of the frantic striving of our younger years and instead focus on cultivating joy, meaning, and purpose. For many, midlife brings a period of unraveling. We may find ourselves questioning long-held beliefs, career paths, or relationships. This can feel destabilizing, as it often involves letting go of identities that no longer serve us. Yet this unraveling is not a sign of failure. It is a form of growth. It is an opportunity to realign our lives with our deeper values and to redefine success on our own terms. This process of redefinition can be both challenging and liberating. It requires us to confront our fears and step into the unknown. But it is through this process that we discover new possibilities and create a life that feels truly authentic. As we transition into the second act of life, our definition of success begins to shift. We move away from external markers of achievement, status, wealth, recognition, and instead focus on inner fulfillment. Joy comes from alignment rather than accomplishment. We find satisfaction in living authentically, in nurturing meaningful relationships, and in contributing to something larger than ourselves. This shift is profoundly liberating. It allows us to let go of the pressure to conform and instead embrace the fluid, complex nature of who we are. We no longer need to fit into a rigid definition of success. We are free to create our own. Rather than fearing midlife, we should embrace it as a powerful turning point. It is a time to ask the right questions. What truly matters to me? What do I want to create, experience, or become? This period is not an ending, but a beginning, the start of a deeper, richer, more authentic life. Midlife is an invitation to step into our power, to embrace our wisdom, and to live with intention. It is a time to let go of what no longer serves us and to make space for what truly matters. By embracing the second act of life, we open ourselves to a world of possibility and transformation. Thank you for joining us on this episode of Wild Wonder. Until next time, embrace the wisdom that comes with the journey. And remember, life is not a race, but a dance. Let us move through it with grace, curiosity, and an open heart.